Right.
Yeah, Annie, this is a subject very dear to my heart, not just in the political sense of it, but as a professional. I've spent my entire academic life, I mean, if you, part of my specialism is extractive sector accounting and finance. So if you'd see, I've got numerous publications in this regard as far as Ghana is concerned. And most often than not, as you'll see, we scapegoat the wrong people, right, in terms of those who get involved in Galamsey activities. Why do I say this? Those we found, or those that are found on Galamsey sites, are not the actual funders of Galamsey. The actual funders of Galamsey are probably in pinstripe suits in New York, in London, in Geneva, or somewhere else having a fantastic time. They are on lead roles or front rows in our churches and mosques or masjids. They are playing critical roles in society. Some probably as even Council of State members. And here we are, some as ministers of states. And we chase the wrong people and take the wrong approach. Using guns and boots is not the way to fight Galamsey. We go there, we seize chamfans, we seize excavators, we burn them in communist style and tend to think that we've solved the problems of Galamsey. Tomorrow, they go back. You see, we used to make this erroneous impression to say that, okay, Galamsey is a livelihood issue. It has become a hydra-headed problem now. Because yes, indeed, it used to be a livelihood issue in the sense that when mining activities encroach communities and they need to empower the average citizenry there, they say, okay, we're giving you alternative livelihood. But the alternative livelihood here is that go and rear grass cutters, which may not be commensurate to what they would get if they risk their life getting under these holes to get it. It's not about their lives. Annie, compare us to other African countries. Right. I've just returned from Zimbabwe in the last couple of days. Annie, to cut a tree in your own compound, you need permit from the city council to do so.
It's same here.
Right? But why are we doing all of this with impunity? Right? Zimbabwe does not have mineral resources. Why are they not having Galamsey? That is even a broken economy. They don't even have a currency because they spend the US dollar. Because they are still trying to have a legal tender as a national currency. And this is how organized Zimbabwe is. You should see how green Harare is. And here we are on old glories. What have we not done in the last 8 years? Operation Galamsey, Operation Vanguard, Operation Calm, Operation whatever. Look at the amount of money, the quantum of investment we've spent in this. Is that commensurate to the fight? A Minister of Environment resigned over this. Frimpong Boateng, I'm talking about him and the report. What have we done? But you see, it is the act of impunity and the endorsement of impunity. But I want to give this credit to the civil society organizations that has actually brought up this debate that most politicians, especially the ruling government, were trying to show.
Not necessarily the media.
All right, and the media. So I'm calling all stakeholders.
Because
I was going to come to that. They illuminated it. I mean, of course, I give credit. Yeah, it's really sad, Annie. You travel along the route in the western region or northwest, northern west region, right? To your left, you see water bodies, broad daylight. You are driving on the major street. Galamsey activities are happening. Where is this culture of impunity coming from? But where? You know where it's coming from, right? What didn't happen to Akonta mines, right? Some of the names they even give to these ridiculous companies is insulting. Akonta.
Why?
No, it's insulting to the good people of Ghana. Akonta. And trace around it, you see remnants of Akonta.
Hey.
No,
you're being overly critical of somebody.
No, I'm being overly critical of our own impunity that we inject in the system. Who can go into forest reserves and do whatever they want to do. Under the Sir John Forestry Administration, what did we not see? And these emboldened people, the Aisha one case, the Chinese lady, what did you not see? How did the state handle it? And today, you are splashing on banner headlines of friendly newspapers that you have 800 people under prosecution. Who are you deceiving? So it's this gimmickry. It's this gimmickry that affects the fight. Because they saw what happened with Aisha's case. If there are even 1,000 foreigners in prison, they know. They see what has happened with Aisha and they know what they can do and get away with it. How are we coordinating? Look, Annie, this is an international fight. Let's not joke about it. Right? What is the supply chain of this gold that leaves there? Place. We talk about fair trade gold. We talk about gold that must come clean, gold that is devoid of illegality. But what source? What's the supply chain? It goes into countries, as intelligence report will have it, like India, right, and the UAE. How are we collaborating with their embassies? Because where it's gotten to is at a very high proportion.
But we are even
Right.
licensing international or foreigners
Yes.
to mine illegally. We have foreigners.
So
in the
that is what I'm
system
saying. That
who are
how
also
are we
engaging-
collaborating?
when you-
Alaji, let me conclude. How we?
We have foreigners in
Alaji,
the
I'm
system
on.
engaging
Alaji,
in Galamsey.
Alaji, I am on.
Licensed to do illegal mining.
Somebody's what?
Being licensed to do illegal mining.
We
That's
have
what- that's what-
licensed companies that are engaging in Galamsey. You think that's not a fact? Should we show you videos?
Go on.
Okay. So what I'm saying here, Annie, is this: we need to just not sit down with ministers, some of whom are involved in this act. Let's bring the diplomats, right? The ambassador of UAE, what have you to say? We know this is our intelligence report. This is our surveillance. It says, as far as illegal gold trade are concerned, you're getting into your market in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi or where have you. What have you to say to this? How can we create counterintelligence to see how we can curb this? Because if there's no supply chain, it's going to stop. The Indian High Commissioner, what are you saying? We know that this is happening in Mumbai. As far as there's a big market in Hyderabad or wherever it is in India.
And who are
How
we
can
expecting to assemble these people? The government?
The government, of course. We have a foreign ministry. We have the president. That's why they have diplomatic
Doctor, you're actually
representation.
suggesting something that you know is highly impossible.
That's not highly impossible. It's doable. Why are they represented
It
here?
is doable, but
Yes.
it's not possible that the government will do that.
No, I'm asking them to do that. This because we are all calling for solutions here.
Okay, well, okay.
We are all calling for solutions
We
here.
appreciate
In
your-
any case,
your suggestion.
Yeah, in any case, you look at the whole process of illegal mining activity. Look at the historical.
Alaji doesn't agree, but he knows they won't do it.
Oh well, I'm daring Alaji's government to do it if they have.
Why won't
You
But
see,
you know you
See,
won't
come
do
in-
it.
come
You
in-
will do
come
that.
in.
so what I'm
this
saying
morning.
here is that, Annie, you look at what fuels, or you look at the historical antecedents of or history of small-scale mining activities. This was meant to empower local Ghanaians to participate in the process, right? So now, if we empower them without the financial muscle, as it may, to engage in the venture, which is capital intensive, what do? They take the licenses, go and bring in rich Indians or Emiratis or Chinese to come and fund the process while they have their names on paper. And this is what is happening.
Okay.
So the fight has moved beyond a livelihood fight. It's a hydra-headed one. It's hybrid in nature now, and we need to fight it internationally, as I've indicated.
Okay.
Except that we have no country to run. But as I said, the culture of impunity, what happens to our forests, what happens with Akunta, what happens with Aisha, is what is emboldening most people to think that they can get away with it, with these kind of impunity. And if we have this culture of impunity still ongoing, we may have no country to run.
Right.
We may have no water to run. We may probably start importing water at a point, like we do for fuel.
People are already doing that.
What?
People
Like
are
we do for
important.
fuel.
Why do we have enough capacity? We don't import
To
fuel.
refine.
Sorry?
We have enough capacity. Is that what you're saying? That all of our fuel
No,
is gotten here?
even if we refine all of the fuel that we produce in Ghana, it
You
won't be
don't
enough.
need
for
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
our
We are
consumption,
importing.
So it will be
So
normal
yeah.
when we import.
So
A
I'm
country
not.
like I'm sure you're listening to what's happening next door in Nigeria. Queues upon
Good
queues.
morning, Annie. From Mark from US, it says
Thankfully-
that the threat of Galamsey requires a sustained, multifaceted approach involving government, civil society, and local communities. One section cannot do it alone. Let's reset to the era of gather them and sell days. That's how the Galamsey name was actually formed.
What?
Gather them and
Gather
sell.
and sell.
It's a
Gather
corrupted
and sell.
version. Yeah, gather them and sell. So it got corrupted to Galamsey.
Yeah, Galamsey.
I like you at the
Days
finance
where
ministry.
It was
They
less
need to brief you on this
I
so that
keep
you can
telling you, I
have
am
the
not
brief.
at
and
the
super
finance ministry. You keep
upgrade
insisting. I said I'm
to
not
the
in
community mining
No more there.
I
that
don't know why
has
you're
been
insisting.
introduced.
You like to
Gentlemen, all
personalize
right.
issues.
Interesting
Let's
discussion
address
this morning. Thank
the
you, Mark
matters.
from USA. Good morning to you. Good morning, Annie. I think the inconsistencies in this Galamsey issue, especially from the government functionaries, is so shameful and disappointing. How can a president who says that he is fighting to preserve the environment be at the same time promulgating a new law that permits mining in our forest reserves? This government needs to take Ghanaians more seriously. Sam Kelly, East Legon, sends that in.